Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And I made a bad mistake earlier this year. Yes, guys. So in this video, we will be changing out the front springs for my coilovers back to stiffer ones. So anyway, guys, this is this video. Hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Alright, everybody, so you guys know what to do. I've championed safety. I'm using 2 jack stands because I'm going to be lifting both sides of the front. Also, I have a new jack. Shout out to my boy Winner, because he actually sold me the 2-ton jack in the past. 2-ton jacks are just too heavy, even when they're aluminum. So I went back to the 1.5. It took me forever to get this jack in. Never buy off an eBay seller. Anyways, let me just jack this car up in 1, 2, 3. All right, it's jacked up on both sides. Now I'm gonna take off the wheels. It doesn't take too long to do that, and let's go. All right, guys, so quick recap. 14 millimeter nut, 14 millimeter bolt. You can just use a regular flathead to pop this off. And the ABS line, this just pops this off. That comes right out. Next bolt is going to be 14 millimeter here. And I believe this one is a 17 millimeter down here. I can't remember. I think it's a 17 millimeter down here. 19 millimeter open-ended wrench to hold on this bolt, because there's going to be a nut on the other side in there that is a 17 when you spin it off. And then when you go to the top, it should be 3 12 millimeter bolts. I'm not going to go detailed in this video because I've done plenty of coilovers installed. So I'm just going to breeze through this, and we're going to do this on both sides. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, this bolt is still in here just to hold it up, but I already took out the 14. I took out the 17. That's the nut. I just got to knock it out. And I took the 17 off here. So I'm just going to go untake off the other side too, so that everything could be off one freaking time. All right, pro tip. Now, for anybody who ever put in coilovers, struts, lower end springs, anything like that on these cars, right? What I just realized with probably installing about 10 to 15 coilovers, right? If you leave this in and you unbolt everything else, the stabilizer link comes out a lot easy, because once you take this bolt out down here, the stabilizer link just pops right out. You can just pull it right out. And it's so much more easier. Even this part moves around freaking freely. So what I'm going to do next is move to the top and remove the top struts. And once you remove the 3 bolts at the top from the engine, of course, side, that's going to allow the coilover to fall. Then we remove this bolt, and because this is unloosened, we should be able to push this whole spindle down and pull the coilover out. Man, this has been pretty quick. I've been only at this about 20 minutes. Yeah, let's go. All right, so these are the 3 bolts up here. Try not to lose them, because I've lost mine already in the past. See, I replaced one of them right over there. I replaced 2 actually too. So just take these, unscrew these, and then we're gonna move back down to the wheel side. All right, so when you have an all-wheel drive, it's gonna fall just like this and come down. Just be very careful. Try not to let the hub come too much out, because you'll start pulling out the axle a little bit. But anyways, this should give me enough room. Remember, the stabilizer link's not connected, so you can bring this all the way freaking down. An easier way too is if you can pull the shock body up from here, and this will keep the fork in. Now, the reason why I took the fork out is it allows me to have a little bit more room and leverage. You can do this without having to unbolt it here, but I didn't want to deal with that. I'd rather just take it off from here, separate it, and pull it out. Anyways, I'm going to do this on the other side, and I don't have to really show you guys, but let me pop it out. Also, for people who who have a DDS suspension on your 3.0T Sport or your Red Sport, this is what it should say, Infiniti V24. All right, this is only for the all-wheel drive guys in the front. All right, cool. Anyways, let's move forward. All right, guys, so this came out so quick. I'm not gonna lie, this is the quickest I've ever removed my coilovers ever. This is what happens when it's best weather. But here, for all my coilover guys, do you guys see something wrong here? Now, in a previous video, what I did was I showed you guys how to preload your coilovers, and I preloaded them by hand and made sure that there was no space. And when I installed it, I double checked to make sure. Take a look at this. This is the passenger side, right? Take a look. Perfectly fine, right? Let's make it the same length. Look at the driver's side one. And mind you, even though the reason, for the people that are watching, you're probably asking, why am I changing out my spring rates? I realized that the 12K springs are too soft for the front with the shocks and my drive height. It's actually just too soft. It gave a comfortable ride, but over harder bumps, the coilover had a more tendency to bottom out. That's not how I ride with my coilovers. When you go to the stiffer springer rate, that doesn't happen. That's when I had the 20s and the 24s, I didn't have those issues at all. Now, this is the driver's side. And whenever I hit the driver's side, I was like, why is it so stiff? Mind you, I changed the shock out, right? But I was like, it was good. And then I'm like, why is it making this noise? Like, why is it so soft? Mind you, I had checked the spring rate some time ago. That was like 7-8 months ago. Take a look. The spring is not supposed to spin, because that means I fucked up on the preload. Or maybe the spring might have failed, where it might have compressed or resettled itself to this height. I honestly don't know. I could be wrong, but I'll take this as my F up. But what we're going to do now is take these top hats off, which I've done in a previous video. Hopefully I put a link above to it. I did it thoroughly, but I'm not going to do it thoroughly in this one. Just going to take off the adjustment knobs, which takes like a 14mm to take them off, then the 17mm top nut, and I'm gonna just spin it off. That's it. We don't really have to do too much here. Also, what I realized, because of that difference, take a look at that. The passenger side is a little bit shorter, so I'm gonna have to readjust this one. I'm gonna have to readjust these ones a little bit higher. All right. But anyways, let me just start knocking this out in 1, 2, 3. All right, so guys, I now swapped out to the 24K springs, and I adjusted the preload. Well, I adjusted the length, because remember I showed you guys that the length wasn't really the same, so I went with making them about the same height, and even with the collars at the same place. So we're gonna now put them back on, and there's not really too much left to do here, because once I throw these on, I'm gonna bring down the car, just check the height. Probably gonna leave the height where it is, adjust the preload, the damper from here, because I put it to full soft. And in the next couple of days, I'm just gonna drive the car to try to get the springs settled in and find out where I want them. All right, so that you guys can see where I'm at. I've already put back the other side. Once again, I would recommend using a jack to push up the spindle so you can meet up with the top control arm. Just put this in, you don't have to tighten it up. It holds everything up while you still put in the bottom bolt here. Over here, you put that one in down there, and you tighten that up. Same thing for the fork, tighten that up, and then put the stabilizer link through at the same time. All right, so start tightening this up, and then the next one should be bringing the car down. All right, guys, we got a problem. Yeah, guys, that is too much of an excess wheel gap. Yeah, and mind you, I didn't change the height of the coilovers. All I went with was a stiffer spring. You see the difference? God. Yeah, guys, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have to adjust the height of the coilovers, and that will be in another video. I'm gonna say it again, I did not change the height of the coilovers. All I did was change the spring. Look at that. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. And in the next video, we're going to be adjusting the ride height of the coilovers. Outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. See you guys in the next video with this monster truck front end. Later, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.